The meme coin frenzy is back, but is the rest of the market back? Can we actually start to celebrate for once this massive move in Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin dominance is rising, the fact that altcoins are following as well? Or is this yet another fake out in the sideways chop? Well, the best way to figure it out is not to have an opinion. It's to take a look at the charts. And that's what Wick and I do every single Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using his indicator, Trading Alpha, which is also the title of the show. Let's go.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Just going to go ahead and bring Wick on now so we can get straight into the alpha. Man, Bitcoin opened the day around 61,517. We're at 66,000 here. Is this a real thing?
One of those days, Scott, one of those days that we talk about of Bitcoin, right? It's so volatile. It's that one day that pops, it gets it all going again. So yeah, I've got a lot to talk about today, Scott. It's a great day.
Yeah, well, let's bring it up because, listen, I share this every day in my newsletter. I talk about the Bitcoin chart. I always have Trading Alpha on it. And I keep saying, man, we're below the track line, kind of trading in the bottom of this range. We haven't seen a gray dot. Well, now I see squeeze shading, a big-ass gray arrow, in your case, green, and a green dot. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you want me to kick it off here with the Bitcoin chart, I'm on the daily chart, guys. And I'm going to run this left to right. We can talk about this squeeze shading and this arrow and what it means. But as always, let's lead left to right for educational purposes. So we have a stage one basing here. We break out into stage two. Okay, this whole thing is called stage two. This, as a trader, should be your goal, to always try and catch and identify stage twos. Okay, so this is what we're doing. And once you're in stage two, you simply hold as long as they're green dots. Okay. Now, I don't normally also put on these topping signals for the show, but I turn them on, and I don't turn them on for the show because then you got to explain it. But let's go ahead and do that. So these topping signals are local tops. But what happens is you do need one of the next two bars to confirm this top. By one of the next two bars needs to close below the wick of the topping signal. If it does not do that, it's a delineated signal. And quite frankly, it's also a bullish signal when you don't get a bearish action, right? So this one's delineated. If you go all the way up, this one, the next two bars did not close below it. But this one right at the top of the market did have the second bar close well below the wick. And the first bar, actually, after it did wick way below it. So this was very much a confirmed top. Just to jump ahead right here, delineated, this is confirmed, and this is confirmed. This is also after a stage two, you go into a stage three basing pattern, a sideways basing pattern, just like stage one. In stage three, we always talk about on the Discord to take a little bit of profit off the table, especially if you've caught a good stage three. So this is where we started to de-risk, okay? But then what happened? The green macro bars, they measure the macro trend, okay, actually started to turn red. Now it's a bearish macro bar. So the trend on a macro scale is bearish, and we're getting three confirmed tops. Very easy signal to confirm. Now we're in a stage four downtrend. At which point I did draw a channel. So a lot of my followers, you are familiar with this channel that I've been updating everybody with every day. And then this day right here, we did break out of the channel. And that day, both on Discord and on Twitter, I let everyone know that we do not have a green dot. Don't jump it just yet. And I would like to see a close above this line. Okay. 2 days ago, I also went on Discord and I let everyone know that if there is a bullish setup, this bottom B is printing. And the only time these confirm is when you get a green dot sometime afterwards, okay? And I let everyone know on Discord 2 days ago, be ready for that green dot if we get it. If we don't, we will resume the channel. And look what we got today, Scott. We got a green dot. This confirms the bottom pattern. It also lets you know that the trend is now signaling that you're in an uptrend on a micro scale for the dots or micro scale. We're in a micro uptrend. And on top of that, Scott, we also got another setup of ours, which is the squeeze shading that you just talked about. This shading lets you know ahead of time that an extreme move is coming, and to be ready, and your confirmation is going to be a breakout arrow. So here we have two confirmed signals in one. Our whole Discord was ready for this. We got the green dot above here. I did enter some positions. I'm sure a lot of my people on Discord did too. And we're looking bullish all of a sudden, Scott, and out of the stage four. Thank goodness. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I obviously have it here in gray and blue, but so, I kind of have the big channel that we've been trading in, chopping sideways here. We broke below it, and actually that gave you a really perfect short on the retest, which I find amazing. Um, but I consider this a deviation. And so now that we're popping off here, I think, I've even said this, like our target at least is 67, which is kind of the center of this channel. But I'm hoping that, bouncing this hard off the bottom of the channel should send us to the top, 74. And by the way, if we go to 74, that would still be sideways chop to me.
I think we've had a very good cool down period, right? This let a lot of the volatility catch up and kind of be bent up. And yeah, this is a very, very good catalyst, and this amongst the backdrop of the business cycle. You think I can talk about that a little bit, Scott, and explain it to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's go and take this chart off, and I'm going to pull up the ISM. So if you follow framework by a bunch of top economists, particularly Raul, he talks about the ISM being a great indication of what we call the business cycle. If I had explained the business cycle to you guys, what that is, it's a theory that economists have drawn up. And basically, ever since 2008, we reset the interest rates. And every 3 to 4 years, we have to refinance that debt. But to refinance, just like you refinance a mortgage, you need liquidity. You need some reason for liquidity to come in the market. And that comes in all different forms, whether it's lowering interest rates or borrowing money to other countries that are short on dollars, like China and Japan, a whole bunch of reasons. But those reasons always seem to pop up. And what's interesting to note is that whenever we get a bull market in the ISM, it correlates with Bitcoin. So you can see here in 2017, the ISM went up, so did Bitcoin. In 2018, I'm sure you remember that one, Scott. Bear market for the ISM, bear market for Bitcoin. Bull market here in 2020, and you can tell. So this, to my knowledge, as a chartist, I can confirm this does look like a good leading indicator for the cycles of Bitcoin. And it coincidentally happens to be around the same time as the halving every 4 years. So let's
elections.
And elections, yeah.
Elections, liquidity cycle. Yeah. I mean, this is what Raul preaches. It's not just our 4-year cycle, it's an everything 4-year cycle.
Exactly. And if you take away geopolitics, Scott, if you take away all the geopolitic mess on a macro scale, there's never been a more bullish time because of everything you've just mentioned. Everything is lining up, even that election cycle. So let's look at what happens when you take the ISM and you magically put on an overlay trading alpha. Okay. And I've actually shown this to Raul, and he actually wants me on there because of this. So let's talk about it. So over here, of course, you have red dots and you're below a red track line. If you have our tools, you know this is a very bearish signal, and the ISM dropped, right? After that, picking up here is your first green dot, right? Green dot starts the uptrend, and we're up here. Okay, so you can see now we get a squeeze shading, letting you know a violent move is coming. Red dots, we break to the bottom. We have a bunch of bottom signals, 0 green dots to confirm, okay? But however, here is a bottom signal. We get a green dot, and this was the shortest bull market of the ISM, and you can see here it went kind of up to sideways. Then we get a squeeze shading, red dots. Here's the bear market for the ISM. Printing B's, green dot. Here we go. Okay, I think you had a little stage 3 right here. Green dot, uptrend on the ISM. Red dots, squeeze shading, downtrend on the ISM. Green dots, uptrend on the ISM. And again, this goes in relation to Bitcoin. Red dots, B's, no green dots, bear market. But look what we have now, Scott. We have a squeeze shading for the first time on the bottom level of the ISM, because it's usually been the top and called bear markets. Now we have it on the bottom, and we do have green dots, and we're about to get that breakout arrow if it goes any higher. This confirms to me that this business cycle theory from a technical standpoint does look very, very promising. So this is what I wanted to show everyone, okay? So your job as a trader is to pick assets in the business cycle that you think will perform the best. And if out of all the asset classes, there's no other asset class other than Bitcoin that has performed to its nature. I think the next leading class before Bitcoin, I think it's technology, and you can go with, let's say, the NASDAQ. Even then, it's not even remotely close. So if you are investing in Bitcoin, even if we get it wrong this cycle, you have all the probabilities stacked in your favor, and that's what you're supposed to do as a trader. So yes, Bitcoin, with that in mind, looks like a very great buy right now. We do see, however, if I had to give you a little negative bearish argument, the only thing that I could come up with, Scott, on the charts is that after every halving, we usually have about a 3-month period where we base sideways. And you and I have talked about this on the show, and we're kind of in that zone. So, do we get a shorter cycle like we've kind of had leading up to this point, and kind of like it ignited a little bit earlier? Is that what's happening? I don't know, but judging by the charts, it's a very, very bullish sign to get in. And then when we look at other things like Solana right here, you're seeing the same thing. This is the daily charts. And if we just skip all of this and skip to the Bs, we're finally getting green signals and breaking above a resistance line. So I'm a big believer that once you get the market catalyst, whether it's stocks, it would be the S&P 500. For crypto, it would be Bitcoin. When you see a bullish chart like this, I like to get into higher beta names that I think are safe. For me, okay, I did add to Solana. So Solana is one that I added. Solana is looking really good.
We both did 2 or 3 weeks ago at like 148. It must have been 2 weeks ago.
We
That's where I
did.
was.
Look,
You might, yeah.
Look, I think it's
We're in
kind of yeah, no, I love Solana. I think there's a bunch of us that have the same kind of theory in mind, and Solana is a really strong project. But you know what has been the story of this week? What has led this week? It's been meme coins. So let's look at Pepe. Okay,
It's making new all-time highs, man. Although it's
and it's
struggling
looking
yeah,
so
crazy.
bullish, Scott. Look at this. Okay, so again, I got to point this out because I'm so
It
proud.
never turned bearish. That's the crazy part. Is this whole run like it didn't really react to any of this downside from.
It's been relatively strong. Yeah, it's had such good relative strength. And then, so look at this. We have this B right here, and I have to point this out because I'm so proud of my signals here. So the Bs, again, what do we need? We need a green dot to confirm. We get the green dot to confirm the bottom is in, and we also get a squeeze shading with a breakout arrow. We see this all the time. This is how we caught the bull market in Bitcoin if you refer to the weekly charts. You get a topic signal here. It is confirmed. And after that, you have a whole bunch of mess. It's not as easy as just holding the green dots, right? But a lot of these stage twos will happen within a cycle. And I think here we are again, catching a little bit of downdraft, getting a little green dot reaction off the track line. And look, we're breaking above this resistance. And right now we're in an area that is super, super bullish because we haven't closed here ever. Okay, so this is new territory. And anytime you are closing at highs, as you know, Scott, there's no overhead resistance. So as much as I don't like to tell people to go buy meme coins, and I'm still not telling you guys to, this chart looks very bullish. I don't know what else to say.
It's nuts to see things like in this choppy gross market where Bitcoin dominance has been rising and Bitcoin's been choppy, to see a freaking frog making new all-time highs.
Freaking frog making so many people money. And then if you look at this, right, if you want to know what to do now, guys, so now you call this basically, this was a stage 2 uptrend, stage 3 basing, stage 4 downtrend. Again, whenever the bars turn red, that's your signal that's your signal that if you aren't out yet, you're still a little bit late, but you still got time. Stage 4, we base in a stage 1. So if I had to outline this right, we do a little basing here, stage 1 basing, just like we did right here in stage 1. I mean, this stuff works, Scott. When you marry these indicators with stage analysis, you go into your little, this is still stage 1 breakout into stage 1 part 1. We know that's not the real parabolic phase. The stage 2 part 2 happens above here, in my opinion. So this is the parabolic phase. In my opinion, all you need to do when you go into stage 2 parabolic phases, and we've seen this time after time, ride the green dots. And as soon as they stop, so for this stage 2, they would have stopped right here. You would have taken profit and gotten out. Right now, I think that's starting up again as long as this market holds its feet.
It's nuts.
So that's it right there. Let's go to SEI. Okay, we've talked about this one again quite a lot on the show. So we'll start off on the weekly chart. This is the macro chart. Whenever you go to a weekly chart, your investing time frame. Again, stage 1 basing pattern. You do not buy in stage 1. Once it breaks above into stage 2 part 1, which is always my first line, you get your first little bag. Okay, retest, breaks above it right here above this line is my stage 2 part 2. For all of you that are familiar with my work, you know what this means. It's parabolic time. You hold as long as there's green dots, and the dots ended right here. You don't get a better system. Red dots makes you out of a stage 4. So SEI is not looking great on the weekly. However, right, it all starts with the lower time frame. If we go to the daily charts, we do have Bs playing out here, Scott, and you know how they work. When you get a B and you get green dots to confirm the bottom pattern, that's usually go time, baby. So what we have here is a whole bunch of
dots. Yeah, we need the green dot.
But look, we're already losing red dots, right? So I'm not saying this is a signal. This would not be an actionable setup to me, but this is how I catch my setups. As I be patient, I now set alerts for the green dots. You can go and just right click and add an alert for a green dot when a green dot starts, and there you got your confirmation. So again, SEI is not a buy for me yet, but it's kind of getting there. It's gone through its stage 4. It's starting to go through its stage 1 here and break out. So watch that one, guys. It's a good one.
Nice.
Moving on here to Tau. This is another one that I just wanted to point out since I knew we were going to be talking about bees and Bitcoin's confirmed a little bottom signal. I want to point out this one as well as SEI. It's doing the same thing where you're getting bees and look, we've now lost red dots. So the next signal, if it goes any higher, if we get any strength in that trend, is for a green dot. And usually that starts our stage 2. So just watch out for this one too, guys. I've got 2 more for you. So let's go to NEAR. You're very familiar with this one, Scott. We've also talked a lot about this one a lot. So have you. You know, let's talk about this weekly chart of NEAR. It looks pretty good. So again, you know, you lose your dots right here. You're out of this move. You miss the entire stage 4 downtrend. Remember, stage 1 is sideways basing. Stage 2 is up. Stage 3 is another basing at the top, and stage 4 is down. Losing green dots, going to red dots below the track line. All of these things are getting worse and worse for stage 4. You stay out of this move as long as we are below a red track line. We get bottom signals, 0 green dots. We eliminate all of this risk, and then it starts basing sideways for quite a long time. We start getting Bs again, and eventually we get our B that has, again, you know, you see this so often. It's not supposed to work like this. It's just how TA confirms each other, right? How you get a lot of synergy happening. So again, bottom signal confirmed with a green dot. It's go time, baby. But we also had the squeeze shading for quite a while. This is a weekly chart to let us know an extreme move is coming. And will we get that breakout arrow? We get it on the green dot. I mean, it couldn't be more easier than this. And I've been trading for almost 20 years. Okay. You get your stage 2 part 1 uptrend, retest here. Now you're in stage 2 part 2, retest, green dot reaction. And here we go. So where are we now? That's what you guys want to ask. John, come on, stop going on. Tell me what the juice is. The juice is this for me. This is looking very strong. This is showing me that we're having bullish consolidation, but we're not yet above my line in the sand where I would turn bullish on this. However, you want to watch because NEAR, as you can see, these are weekly charts. It's showing really good relative strength lately. So when this does pop, I'm expecting this to be a good winner for you guys. What do you think, Scott?
What's the last one? I agree. I mean, hard to argue with. I want to see your last one, and then I want to ask you about something after you do this one.
Oh, okay. Let's go. So render here. So render here, guys. This is another one of my babies. I got in this. I got you guys all in here. I believe just before the stage 2 part 2 on the squeeze breakout here. Again, once you go above my lines that I tell you guys are stage 2 part 2, it goes parabolic, retest, green dot reaction. You hold as long as there's green dots here, and eventually the dots end right here. This one's a little bit more volatile, but I remember when we hit this level here, I got on Twitter and made a video on my Twitter and let you guys know that if we can't break and hold well above this area in 13, you're going to see some downside. And I didn't think I was going to be this right, but it did kind of end there. But here again, we're having green dot reactions off of the track line. If you're one of our members, you know that is a signal if it pulls down to the track line and has a green dot reaction. And what are we doing? We're testing this zone that I mentioned last week that I kind of wouldn't buy this unless we're above this resistance. If you want highest probability, you want them clear skies, baby, with no resistance, but it looks like it's getting there. It looks like it wants to test the supply. And if it can eat the supply left over from before, we'll see higher prices.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said SHIB looks solid, doesn't it? And while you were talking, I pulled it up, and I got to say, if you pull up SHIB, I don't know.
What are you on, the weekly or the daily?
I'm now looking on the weekly, and it's right at the track line on the weekly, which is kind of impressive.
Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's go. I like to go. It's okay.
And the daily is breaking above the track line, confirming the Bs and turning dot. You're gonna like this.
Oh wow. Okay, so Scott caught this again, guys. Just for reference, you know, just so you know, this is no hocus pocus. Here's a whole bunch of Bs. None of them confirm. When they do confirm, it's go time, baby. And what do we see now? Scott is pointing out. He just identified where someone in the audience did. Must be an Alpha Bundle member maybe, but we are getting Bs. We are losing red dots. And the next stage is to have green dots. And we are in a squeeze shading. Wow, what a setup. This is a really great find.
Look at the weekly.
Yeah,
look at the track line.
Weekly, retesting the track line. If we get a green dot reaction off of the weekly at the same time, that causes us to have a squeeze shading breakout arrow on a green dot. This could be an exceptional a trade with really high probability. So whoever found that, whoever talked us into that, that was a really good find.
Yeah. Now I just got to ask you about one more thing before I let you go. And by the way, someone was asking how they get in your Discord. You sign up for Trading Alpha. It's down below in the and we'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. But take a look at ETH BTC, man, because it's depressing.
I don't want to tell you what I just did. don't want to tell you what I just did because I know what you're
Because
going to tell
I'm
me.
just seeing it. It's like breaking every meaningful level of support at the moment. Maybe it'll bounce
Okay.
there though, and that'll be a nice sweep. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay. So let me tell you what I just did. Last week, I just converted my ETH to Sol. I did it.
So did Rand.
So did Rand. Yeah. You know,
He was telling me
again,
about it on Monday. He was saying that he's finally given up on ETH. I was hoping that these were all capitulation signals, and that meant it was going to go up. But it does look to be breaking support here.
yeah. You know, even when we had that little green dot on the B, very, very rarely these fail. This is trading. This is probably the highest probability setups I've ever seen in my life. So when these fail, it's usually a sign. And we even got a little double top there, right? Little double top here. So yeah, it's not a great sign. And you know what? It might be because of Solana, in my opinion. I just think Solana is a faster, better user interface. It's just, so yeah, that's what I've done. It's kind of sucks. This is bad because if you go and you draw the base, right? So you're looking at a base probably right there, middle zone.
Yeah.
Breaking below that, retesting above it, and losing it again. This is not a good chart technically. So I agree, Scott. ETH BTC does not look good. And you know, if we can go to ETH since we're doing this anyway, shit, why not?
Depressing. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's gonna fly.
really
Everyone's capitulating. I'm not capitulating with everyone.
Okay, here's some consolidation, Scott. You and I got everyone in on this breakout arrow on the show.
Oh, I know. It done well.
So
yeah,
you guys should be holding as long as green dots are happening until right here. You should have got out if you got our tools. And yet now it's breaking below the track line, and the track line is turning red on the weekly. So yeah, a pure TA chartist, I can't take any emotion into this. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, even simply without trading alpha, like these levels here, this is the whole area of support it's trying to break down. Like really like areas we haven't been seeing since, early 21. January 21 is the last time we were at this level on ETH BTC. That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Unfortunately, look, it's not breaking down completely, but this is breaking the structure of a bullish structure. And especially while everything is going now bullish, and this can't even break above the track line, which is red, and it can't gain green dots again. So yeah, give it a little bit, Scott. But again, being below the track line when it turns red, as you can see anywhere else, even if it goes from green to yellow, is usually the bad sign. So
this guy, ETH is up 5%. What are we talking about? We're looking at the Bitcoin pair. It's just been absolutely destroyed. If you had a choice to sit in Bitcoin or in ETH, it's been a bad run if you were sitting in ETH, and that was the point. And now if you do, I'm sure ETH divided by Solana, it's going to look even worse. So yeah.
Right. And I think this is the issue, right? I think when you do ETH Sol, and let's see.
You should probably just throw that perp up. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's just throw that perp up. Okay, when you do this, okay,
no,
let's
do
daily.
That's not gonna do it.
That's not it. Yeah, no, hold on. What am I doing wrong here? ETH Solana. Where is it? Just do no. Yeah, why is it not coming up for me? I don't know why. But
do ETH divided by Sol, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I've seen that chart. So yeah, if you guys want to pull that up, I'm sure that ETH Sol looks ridiculous. Okay, because that up right, and the more people get out, that everyone's switching from ETH to Sol. I mean, I've done it. Rand's done it. Rob Powell has done it. I think it's just the story of the cycle. I think Solana is the story as far as like blockchains like that go.
All right, I'll take it. Now you can tell them how they can get in your Discord and all the things.
Absolutely, guys. So if you are interested in getting in my Discord, it is not a paid Discord. I do not do paid Discords, but I've run the Alpha Bundle yearly for a couple years, 3 or 4 years. And just this year, I decided, hey, you know what? I want a more personal relationship. I want to talk about these structures when they change to make sure my viewers have the same framework as me. So anyways, I made a VIP Discord area specifically for members of the Alpha Bundle. So if you do want the indicators, guys, you do get the luxury of coming on the Discord with me. I help people every day. You can tag me. To get the Alpha Bundle, you simply go to the comment section in the YouTube here, and you click on that link. Click on that link, and we are starting today because it's the bull market is going right here with this breakout arrow. We have started a 10% discount. So if you want that discount when you check out of the yearly Alpha Bundle, you simply type in 10 off sale all together. Big words, 10 off sale, and that should drop the sale price by 10%. That's how you get our indicators, and that's how you get into our Discord.
I love this. About time we heard the words, I sold my Ethereum for Solana. Scott, you eventually will commit. I have both. It's fine.
You know, I don't think you can go wrong. I think if you got into Solana as low as me and Scott did, and some of you guys, luckily, you know, I think you're going to be sitting pretty either way. And you know what? If they both pop, you know, Ethereum might catch up. It's just not looking that way right now.
Yeah, man. All right. That's all we got for you guys today. I can't recommend Trading Alpha enough. You guys have seen it converted me after all these years. It's my go-to. Keeps things clean and very, very easy. So you guys should join, and then you get to get that access to Wick that he talked about there. Guys, that's all we got. We'll be back next week, right?
We will be. And if you guys want to give me a follow, I am at 0hedge_ on Twitter. Yes, I'll catch you guys next week on the next show. Thank you for your time, Scott.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
That's dope.